Hello and welcome back to another Space Engineers showcase video. In today's video, we're looking at quite possibly the weirdest vehicle I've ever showcased. And this one is called the AC-154M Hounds mass production model, which is this thing over here. So this is a very odd land vehicle that features a bunch of custom turrets in the form of its arms and a lovely cannon on top. Pressing F10 and finding it in the spawn menu, the Hounds is 341 small blocks using the Wasteland, Sparks of the Future and Decorative Block number 2 DLC packs. We got no information whatsoever, so simply give this a thumbs up. Move all around towards the very front, we'll have a quick look around the outside, we'll have a quick test at what it can do, and then we'll roll it over to the space pirate sitting right over there to see what kind of destruction it can cause. My character can now bugger off a little bit, there we go. And as for the front, this is what we get. So front and centre, what we got is our Wasteland wheels, which are in a very precarious position. Behind that, we can see a bunch of steel blocks plate up our regular cockpit with a transparent LCD screen giving us some nice information, which is for the custom turret controller. Above that, a Wasteland spotlight, and on the left and right hand side, we can see our glorious arms featuring a Gatling gun and an autocannon. If we were to move slightly above there, that is our main controllable turret featuring 2 assault cannons. We'll come back to that a bit later. If we were to move down and onto the side, this is what it looks like. So we do have a very tiny wheel to stabilize the vehicle when trying to turn at high speeds. We can see a battery towards the front there. We've got some great use for our neon tubes acting as a little bar going across. Then around towards the back, we once again got a wheel set up like the front. There is a connector to dock this thing up and to refuel it with ammunition. There's an antenna behind barred window blocks. There's a rear access for the cockpit. If we were to move all the way up and start to look down, that is our custom turret and what it looks like. So we see on the side we've got a rotor and hinge setup so we can move up and down and all the way around. And at the top here we can see some great use for our armoured panels. And towards the front there, that is all we can see. So we get a close up of the guns on the sides. That is how they've been set up. Then rounding over to this section, that is simply how the wheels have been set up. If I was to drop down and come underneath, not really too much to talk about, but that is how our wheel suspensions have been connected up. There is some batteries to power this thing, there is some timer blocks, we do have a unique control to reset the turret position from the cockpit, and there is our connector at the back. And there we go, that is a very brief look around the outside of the AC-154M Hounds, and it looks great with how it's been set up. It's a very odd design, and I can't wait to test it out against the pirates. For grabbing hold of my character, I can come over to the cockpit, sit in first person view, and this is all we can see. So we are nice and protected all the way around us, and there's our transparent LCD screen telling us if we're locked onto a target or not. Looking down, that's all we get. Bring up the HUD, these are the only controls we get, so we'll just quickly go through them. So number 1 is take control over our assault cannons on the top, where the controls have been inverted. Yes, you move the mouse down to move that up. It threw me off and still throws me off at this point. So I'm going to be terrible at aiming that. But we can just fire this and it will move the vehicle back, because it has quite a lot of force behind it. Number 2 is going to be for our AI to take over the custom turrets on and off. Number 3 and number 4 is to lock onto the targets. Number 5 is to switch the target priorities where it's currently on weapons. I can just switch through things say like power, we've got propulsion, or just have it on default. Number 8 is our timer block, where if I was to press that, that'll put the turret back into its default position, which can be very useful if you were, say, aiming up at the sky and you were about to go through a tunnel. Yes, I'll just come back into this and realign it so it can be a bit better. There I was moving it up because I was trying to move it down, and that should be okay like that. We'll just realign it, and that looks good. Tab number 2, we then got our batteries to auto or recharge. Then number 9 is going to be for our lights all the way around this vehicle, on and off. So now what we can do, and what I've been waiting for, is we're going to drive this towards the space pirates. So moving forwards, this is what we get. I am kind of scared at turning this thing around at high speeds, because I have a feeling it's just going to tip over. But driving this thing along, and while we're chasing the shadows, which just move that around to the sunlight. There we go, that's a lot better. Sorry if I blinded you with that. Yes, it is a little bit odd to drive forwards. It is very wonky, it moves left and right quite a lot. It does have a mind of its own. And if I was to start turning this thing around on a flat surface, I'm glad that I have those support wheels on the side. Now we just come over to those space pirates, and hopefully this will go well, making sure the AI is turned on, and we are targeting the weapons. And I have high hopes for this vehicle. We've got enough firepower on here that we should be able to disable them before they disable us. And there is the pirate outpost. Now I'm going to start to lock onto this. I'm going to slow down just a little bit in case they get the jump on me. And there we go. Now I'm going to start moving forwards. We're fully locked on. We're targeting the weapons. Everything is in order. So now all that's left to do is simply to charge along over to it. And I'm hoping these arms are going to do what I'm thinking. And I am slowing down just a little bit. We're now in range, and there goes the assault cannon on top. There goes our Gatling guns on the side. Look at them, how they're turning around. They really want to kill those turrets. There goes the assault cannons once again. I am just going to turn around on this side like so. So just in case they damage one arm, I still got a backup. And, oh god, that was a very good shot by the pirates. I wasn't expecting it to completely disable both arms. And I've hit the invisible rock and flipped over. But don't worry, I managed to do a backflip, and away I go. Yes, that was rather unfortunate, and very well done by the space pirate. There goes the rear wheels. Wow, these space pirates are bloody accurate today. Usually I can get away with a lot of crap with these, but they really wanted me dead. But anyway, as I was saying before I got rudely interrupted by that, driving on one side, letting one arm deal with it seemed like a fantastic idea, because if they did shot off one, you can then turn around and start shooting them with the other. But anyway, it's a fantastic looking vehicle. It's got a great design. It's got a nice sort of firepower if you are looking for something like that to play around with in your world. There'll be a link to it in the description below if you do wish to download and play around with yourself. I highly recommend you do, and I'll be back with another video some point soon. Bye bye.